home out alone to show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.
It is Wednesday night, which means it's time for pACT. Hey everybody, I'm Zach Clayton, president, founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. We're going to be joined here in just a little bit by a good friend of mine, a great fundraising partner, Mr. Breck Rice, who has some very, very interesting programs that we're going to talk to you about. We do want everybody to remember that we are a company that fully believes in your right to do whatever you want to do. But we just need to remember that we also support small to medium businesses. So just please kind of remember that. We are here tonight, and we ended up running into a problem. And yes, Mr. Auxilia, who I get a chance to take and make fun of a little bit, we had somebody who had a little bit of good-looking guy problems today. We wanted to make sure that he was all ready for us. All ready for us. Oh my God, I look like this every day. So, but Steve is going to. I'm just giving him a little bit of guff. So, or am I? Yeah, I'm giving him a little bit of guff. Look, Auxilia is a wonderful, wonderful program. It's helped Community Pay It Forward in so many ways. Those of you who are out there who see our weekly email blast, that's on Auxilia. That's one of the wonderful things that they do. They also keep track of any donation that comes in, and really make your bookkeeping a lot easier. Keep your teams together, and I really suggest that if you're in the nonprofit world next week, make sure that you join this show, because I will have an interview with Steve, and he is the founder and just a wonderful, wonderful guy. We have a few things going on, and for those of you who did not join us on Friday, why not? What were you doing? It's a Friday. It's not like people go out anymore, right? I mean, everybody stays home, and there's stuff going on in the world. It's crazy out there. Why would you go out? Especially when you can sit in, order some Hope wine, and you can donate to great causes like Project Die Hard and getting the fob built, or our wonderful friends at the Avery Center. We are working with Hope Wines, and right now, every time that you buy a bottle of Hope wine, you can donate to one of these wonderful, wonderful causes. We just want to make sure that everybody does know about that. And they understand that there's a lot of stuff that's going on that we really like to sponsor what they're doing. We like to show what they're doing, because they're doing some wonderful stuff. So we've got some information on the website. You go to the ACT page, ACT, which is all come together. You go to the ACT page, you look it up, you see what's going on. You have any questions, give us a call, 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. We want to once again let you guys know that Brian from Project Die Hard, he is looking for sponsors. We need your help now. Hope Stock coming up July 29th, 30th, and 31st. 29th, 30th, and 31st. I will not be there. So there's one incentive on why to go. Why am I not going to be there? Because if I went, my fiance is probably going to take and do bad things to the corpse, because, you know, I'm supposed to get married on the 30th. So probably not, better miss that, better not miss that. I don't think it would be good for my health. So we're going to go on ahead, and we're just going to go on ahead and keep the wedding plan and support Brian from afar. But we are participating with Brian, and we're trying to help him with all of his sponsors. These Scrolling now at the bottom are all of the prices for Brian sponsorships. You can get a bronze sponsorship for $100 to $499. You can get a silver sponsorship from $500 to $999. Silver sponsorship for $1,000 or above, and a platinum sponsorship for $2,000 or above. We want you guys to know that no matter what you do, Community Pay It Forward is going to throw in your name and just throw on a little bit of additional love for you, because you are giving love to our veterans. Project Die Hard is about ending homelessness, about pulling that gun out of veterans' mouths. Okay. Project Die Hard is going to be one of the only functioning facilities where they're going to bring in whole families. They're for veterans. They're going to allow the veterans to be with their families, and everybody's going to be healthy, happy, and together. And they're going to get to grow together. There's a lot of research what's going on about veterans and why the suicide rates are what they are. But the thing is that, you know what, if we can keep them together in a family, and if we can teach them to live together after the service time, if we can get them integrated back together, we think that there can be great success rates. And Brian, Project Die Hard, and everybody else is doing a wonderful job. We're going to be updating this every day. We're going to be doing, or every show, we're going to be doing some more. Once again, you can also make a donation to Brian at Project Die Hard, or any of our mission partners, by simply downloading this little gadget right here. That one right there. And matter of fact, let me go on ahead and move this thing out of the way. That way you can get a clear picture of it. Oh no, I don't want to upload a logo. I want to take out a logo. There you go. Now you can take and scan that, and you'll have all of our partners, including our great friend Mr. Breck Rice, right at your fingertips. What you do is, it's a very easy little form to use. Let me share it with you here in just a second. But like I said, it's going to have every single one of our partners on there, and they're all put into different areas where they need to be, and it's easier for you to see them that way. Let me go ahead and hit this up, and I will share the screen as soon as, of course, it pulls up. But you know, somebody's computer is not acting nice. I wonder who that could be. So, me, computer problems? No way, right? So here we go. This is what this looks like. Okay. This isn't what it looks like, because that's not the form I'm looking for. So we're going to exit out of this form because, and kids, don't try this at home. I'm a professional. Professional, huh? So anyway, where are we? Here we are. It's called Find Your Fundraising Partner. Okay. So once again, you go right here to this form. We're going to open it in a new tab, because that's what we should be doing instead of showing you guys this. We have our little PowerPoint right here. It's a real simple, real small PowerPoint. It's 2-3 minutes. Greatest thing about it is you get to listen to the great Mr. Theron Roberson play our theme song, and play his song Sunset Boulevard again. But you can find everything from ABDA website compliance to auto insurance, auto repair, bill mediation. You know, you got all kinds of different things on here: family fun, self activities, health, happiness, and fitness. You know, you just come here, you find who you're looking for, and you click on it. When you click on them, it's going to take you to or when you find those partners, you can take and click on this, and it'll take you back to the website. We're trying to find a way to make it easier, but this is very limited. But you find a partner for sure, one of the partners that you're looking for. You take a photograph of the receipt when they give it to you. So say you make a purchase from Mr. Rice, you take a picture of that of the proof of purchase. You take that picture, then you hit this form right here. Yes, we have to take you to another form until we get an app built, and you guys can help us do that. We'll tell you how and why in a little bit. Then you come here, and here's where you get to decide: do I want to donate to a 501c3 organization or nonprofit? Do I want to give to an animal mission? What about our Cub Club? In introducing our new Connell's Hugs from Heaven, one of our newest mission partners. So we're proud to have them on there. Connell's Hugs from Heaven is another wonderful program that was started by a heartbreaking incident. They ended up losing their son, and they helped the kids get through the passing of a brother or sister. And it's a wonderful, wonderful program. She was telling me about how her 6-year-old daughter loves being part of this and loves taking and talking to kids, and she's really stepping up and becoming part of it. One of the most beautiful things I've ever heard, and turning tragedy into something that's really going to help other people. So please make sure that you keep Connell's Hugs from Heaven in your mind. Of course, we've also got Riley for Spoonville, NOCO Nights, Happy Gardens, community organizations. We've got community improvement missions, families who need a helping hand, healthy mind, body, and soul, honoring our heroes, both country and community. Inclusion is for everyone, and support a startup business. You just pick what you want, you click on them, you upload that receipt to there, you fill out this little bit of information, and you click the submit. And you know what? You donated to a cause simply by choosing where to shop and taking a picture of your proof of purchase. I promise you, I made that a hell of a lot more difficult than it actually is. It's not as difficult as, but I'm the guy who, I'm going to say 32 words when 3 will do. That's just who I am. So, but that's what this is all about. And if you guys have any questions, we're going to show you a little bit later on an easier way to do it, because, well, there's got to be an easier way to do it than listening to me all the time. We need your help coloring or creating the new color book, the Community Dare to Care Cub Club book. We're looking for people to take and draw the Cub Club book for us. We are now nationwide, if not worldwide. And so we're looking to include other states and include other countries in our Cub Club book. Would you like to show off your artistic talent? Kids, you want to see other people draw your pictures? All you have to do is get a hold of us. Send us an email or a text message. Send us a text message, 970-909-0751. 970-909-0751. Kids, have your parents send us a text message. Let's not have you send that text message. Let's talk to mom and dad about it, and let's make sure that we've got everything going. But let's draw for the Cub Club. Let's get Nita back out there, and let's start helping kids learn how to help people. It's very easy to do. It can be a lot of fun, and you can really help us do a lot of good. Once again, if you want to be part of Project Die Hard, if you want to sponsor them, I'm going to keep this scrolling right down here. But if you want to be part of sponsoring Project Die Hard, right here's the information. Send them an email to contact@projectdiehard.org. contact@projectdiehard.org. Say, hey, I heard that talking head Zach talking about whatever you got going on. Can you explain it? Since, he sounded like he had marbles in his mouth. And Brian will go, that sounds like Zach. Yes, let me explain it much better than he can. So we're going to get moving on and bring on somebody who can talk like a normal human being, does this for a living, and does very, very good things. He has been helping out people in the pharmaceutical world for quite a while, and they got some great programs saving people money. And I am very, very proud to introduce one of our newer partners. Breck's been with us for about a little over a month now, but one of our newer partners, Mr. Breck Rice. How's it going, Breck? How you doing, friend?
Good, good. How are you, Zach? And man, you look good today. You got your hair all pulled back, and
yeah. Well, it's so windy here in Colorado that I walked outside, and all of a sudden everything that was all the hair in the back of my head was like here in the front. And I got in here and I brushed my hair out and took and brushed it all out, trying to get all pretty for everybody. And, static. And I looked like I had an afro, like a 1970s afro from, and everything I touched was shocking me. So I was like, going, we don't want to do this no more. So,
I
but
don't have that problem, my friend.
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, you get the beard going a little bit more. Maybe you can have that going. So, how
Yep.
you doing, Breck?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, why don't you give us a little bit of information about ServeRx, please?
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to. So ServeRx has been around for about 12 years now. We filled the hole that was created when the original grandfather third-party payer in the country went to the dark side. It was acquired by a pharmacy benefit manager, a PBM. So in our side of the business, the pharmacy side, we call that the dark side. So that the original program that most pharmacies were using to process and take care of injured workers became a pharmacy benefit management program. And so there was a need for ServeRx to be created to make sure that patients didn't have a lag in getting the medications that were needed, and pharmacies wouldn't be at risk for dispensing those medications.
It's so difficult for people who are on disability to afford disability or Social Security. Some of the medications that are out there now are so expensive. And how can you guys help individuals who are struggling?
Yeah, one thing that I encourage everyone to do when they go to the pharmacy is, even if you have a discount card, ask what the cash price is for the medication. So it wasn't until just recently, within the past 3 years, that your pharmacist actually could tell you what that cash price was. As ridiculous as that sounds, the pharmacy benefit managers had these gag clauses in contracts that would prohibit the pharmacist from telling you. It wasn't until 2018, finally, two states passed it first, Florida and my home state of Arizona. They both passed legislation to remove those gag clauses early in the year of 2018, around April. And then 6 months later, finally, the White House passed two bipartisan bills that removed gag clauses nationally. So now you are able to tell, or ask the pharmacy, hey, what's the cash price on this medication? Prior to, 2018, if your copay, your co-insurance portion was, $37.95 was what you had to pay for the medication. And the pharmacist couldn't tell you, well, the cash price is actually $10.75. So you save yourself $20 or so if you just pay cash for the medication. So as ridiculous as that sounds, I encourage everyone, always ask, what is the cash price for the medicine?
I take one medication for my migraines. One of the things that I've got is a monthly prescription called Amavig. It's kind of one of those medicines that you don't really know it's working until it's not working, and then you can really tell. And I know that my Amavig, before the insurance takes a hold of it, it's $798, and it's an injection that, Breck, I'm not joking. It takes 3 seconds. Of course you're supposed to put it in your fat, but I don't want to shock the baby and have a premature birth. My kid's only 17 years old and I'm still, waiting to go into labor. But, it's a 3-second injection, and it amazes me that they're charging $789 for that. How do you have any reason to share with us on why that is? How did they get away with this?
Yeah, it's interesting how medications are priced. You have this AWP, or average wholesale price of medication, that most drugs use as the price point. And when the manufacturer creates a new medication, or even a new, in your case, it's based on cc's, or if it's a number of the milligrams that the medication may have. So anytime a new drug code, national drug code, is applied for, so the new NDC, they then apply an AWP, and it's usually just chosen by the manufacturer. They just pick what the AWP is going to be on that medication. So there's really not a whole lot of rhyme or reason behind it. Sometimes it is cost driven. If it's a specialty medication like you have, then there's a lot that's gone into the manufacturing of that. In most cases, what drives up your cost of the medication, though, is a middleman that sits in the middle between the manufacturer and the actual pharmacy who's dispensing you the medication. And that's these PBMs that I'm talking about. The pharmacy benefit managers were put in place back in the 60s to help negotiate pricing. And their job was to help negotiate and get better pricing. Well, money got involved and people got greedy, and they figured out, hey, we can make a lot of money at charging a higher price for these medications. So PBMs work off of this spread. It's called spread pricing. So they contract with the pharmacies to dispense the drugs for a much lower cost. So they'll take a reimbursement that's a lot lower, and then the pharmacy benefit manager keeps the difference between the AWP, or the average wholesale price of that medication, and what the pharmacy is actually getting reimbursed. So in some cases, it's $80 to $120 per medication that's actually getting carved right out to the pharmacy benefit manager. The wholesaler isn't getting anything, the manufacturer isn't getting anything of that, and the pharmacy certainly isn't.
Okay, so I'm here on your website. Okay, can you tell people exactly what they get when they enroll with ServeRx?
Yeah, so the website is focused on bringing on community pharmacies. So we become their third party biller, or third party payer, specifically for work related injuries. So unlike all of the other healthcare plans, and even the government plans for Medicare and Medicaid, those are programs that you pre-enroll in. So you already know what pharmacy networks you can use and what doctor networks you can use. Everything is all predetermined. But in workers' compensation, nothing is predetermined. You only get enrolled after the injury occurs. So there's a gap. There's actually a few days between the time that the patient actually needs medication and when it's even on file with the carriers like Liberty Mutual or Travelers or Hartford or whoever the payer may be. So we fill that gap. We allow our pharmacy partners go ahead and dispense the medication today, no hassle, no delays, no out-of-pocket expense to the patient. Take care of that patient, and we make the pharmacy whole. We pay them upfront, whether we collect or not. So it's mitigating their risk to make sure that those patients get taken care of. Now, obviously, we have to write off some bad debt. We'll still take some claims that weren't legitimate. We verify every claim, and through that verification process, we make sure that there is eligibility, that it wasn't a fraudulent filing of workers' compensation or whatever the case may be. But we take that risk so that our pharmacy partners can just go ahead and take care of their patients same day without delays. So a lot of pharmacies, close to 15, 17,000 pharmacies use us today for that very reason, just to take care of let's send it to ServeRx. They'll pay us up front, and we know we're going to be able to move on with our day, and we're going to have that security that we're going to get paid. Patients love it because they're getting taken care of without any out-of-pocket expense. Before third-party billing, the patient may have had to pay for that medication out of pocket and then take the receipt back to their employer to try to get reimbursement. So we streamline that whole process to make sure that the whole workflow isn't interrupted. Patient care is improves the patient care, improves medication adherence, access to the medication. So it's a benefit that pharmacies love, and they love our reimbursements. We typically pay them 3x, 4x what the PBMs will pay them for that same medication. Meloxicam, a month's supply of meloxicam, PBMs traditionally are paying $4-5 reimbursement, when they should actually be paying closer to $90-95 for that same medication. We pay the community pharmacies the $90-95.
Your program is more aimed at the independent pharmacist. You're not really aimed at like the Walmarts or anything like that. You're there to try to keep the small and medium guys and gals. Please forgive me on that. Guys and gals, you're trying to keep them up and running and really be a servant to small community.
Yeah, that's our bread and butter, are the independents and community pharmacies. But we do work with regional chains. We have grocery store chains that have put pharmacies in, their grocery stores. And so we'll work with, larger regional chains as well, but they are still considered community pharmacies. And they're the ones that are counting every penny, right? So every reimbursement they are able to get from us, man, that is just, a godsend for them, because, prior to this whole shift that the pharmacy benefit managers, working off of the spread pricing, a community pharmacy used to work off of a profit margin of close to 36%. Today, they're lucky if they're getting 3 to 5% profit margin. So when they get reimbursement from ServeRx and we're paying them, triple or quadruple what the PBM is paying them for that same medication, that's a real blessing to them.
What are some of the complaints that you guys still get, even though that you guys are what did the pharmacists say? Hey, is there something that we can do to maybe help our customers through this? And of course, there's not, let's be honest, can't make everybody happy all the time. You just can't do it. But if there's something that if there's something that you guys could work on to try to get it done, what would that be?
Yeah, I think it's unbundling of the networks, because the number one friction that we have today is accepting a claim from a community pharmacy. We pay them our, reasonable reimbursement. They get their $60-70 reimbursement for the medication. But then after the fact, we find out that pharmacy actually is in network with a PBM that patient is a part of. So now our payment has to be taken back, and they have to accept the contracted rate from that PBM, which may only be, $3 for that medication we just paid them $75 for. So obviously the community pharmacy hates, that happening. They want to keep our 75, but they're in network, unfortunately. Well, sometimes they don't even know they're in network, because the big pharmacy benefit managers, they buy up all the little networks and then they fold them, bundle them into their managed care programs. So the community pharmacy doesn't even know what networks they're in. So there's 3 major PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers, that control about 80% of the lives in the entire country on the health side. So for your health care, health insurance, and your Medicare, Medicaid. Those 3 pharmacy benefit managers are Express Scripts, it's Optum RX, which is United Healthcare, and then it's CVS's Health, or or Caremark is their PBM. So those three pretty much own the market share, right? So they've bought up all of these other standalone independent networks and rolled them into their managed care. So today, if you want United Healthcare, which they have 64 million lives that they cover on the health side, well, as a retail pharmacy, you want to be able to care for those 64 million potential patients. So you sign a contract with them. Well, they hold a gun to your head and say, okay, if you want our 64 million health lives, you're going to take our Catamaran, our Cypress Care, our Timesys, and they just make them take all of those networks. So I think the next phase of true pharmacy benefit management transparency, which there's a lot of push to do today, the next big step would be now unbundle those networks, make the PBMs, unbundle, so they're not a monopoly, so that a pharmacy can choose, okay, I'll take United Healthcare, the health side, but I don't need anything on the workers' compensation side. I have a processor for that.
Is there any difference between working for, let's say, just people like I guess what I'm trying to get through is Kaiser Permanente or regular medical. Is there any difference for you guys working with them?
Yeah, so where we're very specific just to the entitlement programs like workers' compensation, we would only deal with those payers. The largest, payers in work comp would be your the big carriers like Liberty Mutual, Hartford, and Travelers. But then you have these third-party administrators, these TPAs like Sedgwick and Broadspire, that also end up being payers in behalf of, an employer group. So one of the things that we really want to focus on with our community pharmacies is not only getting them a fair reimbursement, but because they are having to fight against all these big PBM networks, and 70% of the claims are going to end up falling into one of those networks where they're going to, quite often the reimbursement rate is so low that it doesn't even cover their acquisition cost of the medication. Right now, Optum is managing the Department of Labor claims, so your government programs for federal employees, postal workers. Optum won that account recently. Well, the reimbursement is below acquisition cost on most drugs, so they're going to have an access problem. These poor patients that are on DOL or Department of Labor are only going to probably be able to get those filled at a maybe only a Walgreens and CVS. You couldn't even go to your neighborhood community pharmacy because they can't afford to keep the medications or dispense them at that reimbursement rate. Yeah, it's ridiculous how low those are. So a huge opportunity for a community pharmacy now to go get involved with their municipalities, get involved in city government, find out what organizations are self-insured and self-administered, meaning they pay out of pocket when there's an injury. There's still hundreds and hundreds of companies and cities that do that, right? They use taxpayer dollars and just pay for the claim out of the work comp fund. Well, a community pharmacy could come take the middleman out, remove that pharmacy benefit manager, give the city an immediate cost savings, probably about a 35% cost savings on what they spend on medication, and the pharmacy get a raise. So you meet in the middle.
So if you had a magic wand and you can say, okay, I need these people to call me today, bink, they start lighting up your phone, who would that be?
I think it would be large municipalities, right? Because here's my thought process for that. These are government entities that once they're on board and see the benefit of removing that middleman, taking that middleman that raises the cost of meds out, and they see that benefit of spending what would 30% of drug spend be to a city like, Chicago? I mean, it's probably millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
When you start to take the total spend and take 30% off of that. But the traditional process is that you do have that middleman in there. It's kind of a good old boys club, they're scratching each other's backs. They spend millions and millions of dollars on legislative activity. And so I think a win for us would be large municipalities that buy into this new remove the middleman system, so that when that the PBMs are spending their millions in legislation, they'll get pushback from large cities or counties saying, no, we like it without you. We're good without you.
Okay. We're gonna talk about there's this one health thing that's going on that I don't know. I think you might have heard of it. It's like called COVID. I know all of a sudden everybody is just like going, oh God.
Never heard of her. Never
Yeah,
heard.
yeah. So we're going to be talking about that in just a minute. But I did want to share with everybody right now. We have mentioned just a little bit ago, I had mentioned our wonderful program that we've started with Hope Lines. And right here are three wonderful QR codes that you can use. The top one is for our virtual event. Okay, it's on Facebook. She is adding recipes and reviewing different wines and talking to different people about some great things. The pairings and I mean, it's the wine talk is so. I don't know, Breck. I don't know if you and you guys drink wine at all, but when people start talking wine, a lot of times you sit there and like if you got two guys sitting there talking about beer, it's beer, cold, good, yeah. You start talking about wine, and all of a sudden, a guy like me, I get a little lost. I'm like going, "What do you mean it's nutty?"
It's all over my head.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting to listen to some of the talk, but it gets a little bit confusing, and especially when you have somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about trying to talk about it. But please make sure that you're looking at these QR codes. You can find these QR codes by going to the one right here. I guess I can do it on this page. And this is for our virtual event on Facebook. Okay. Every time that you purchase a wine through this QR code right here, a portion of your sales goes to Project Die Hard. Once again, we've talked about Project Die Hard being a solution to veteran suicide, solution to homelessness for our vets, but it's so much more. There's also going to be so many other projects that are in there tied into this one wonderful program, to where you're going to have equine therapy, you're going to have different types of therapy, credit repair, background repair, you're going to have job training, you're going to have all this stuff in each fob. Each fob is also named after somebody who has lost a battle. So they're so important because you're keeping the memory alive of our heroes and you're helping to support them. So please, Easter's coming up. Celebrate Easter with your family. Order some wine. If you use this QR code right here, a portion of your money goes to the Avery Center. A couple of weeks ago, I shared a beautiful, beautiful interview I had with the founder, Megan. And it's only beautiful because Megan was on there. My sound was off and all kinds of problems on my end. But Megan told us the story about what she does. Megan's a beautiful person. She helps us so much, and she's doing a lot of good about it. And just keep watching our channels, and you can see that replay of both Brian and Megan. We're going to keep playing them. We're going to keep them in your view so you can support them. Once again, this the top one is for our virtual event on Facebook. Please join it. You can find out all kinds of different things. This one's for the fundraising of Project Die Hard. This one here is for the Avery Center. We're going to be picking a couple more missions next month. We're going to do it every month. We're going to be spotlighting nonprofits, bringing sites to their causes, and supporting people who need our support. So we can't tell you who it is yet because, well, quite frankly, we're really not sure. As we've been telling people, the missus and I, we are looking into fostering kids. Next month happens to be foster parent appreciation. So, yeah, I was thinking, hey, why don't I raise money for myself? And then I thought, well, no, that probably wouldn't work, right? But, I mean, it sounds good. Hey, oh, let's celebrate me. Let's not do that. No, no. So, COVID. I know. I swear, along with the wind, I just felt the whole exhale of the world go, here we go. You guys have a program that can help out businesses with COVID.
Yeah, everyone is so sick and tired of talking about it, but the fact of the matter is, we have entered into this new era in our existence of superbugs, and in fact, some of the things that we used to always do to sanitize and clean, bugs have mutated and now eat those things that like there's bugs that eat bleach, if you can believe that. So we're into this new weird era, and so we've actually participate with a coalition of companies that provide all kinds of services and solutions around helping businesses not only get reopened, but make sure that they're clean and safe environments for employees. One of the most exciting new technologies out there is this new FDA-approved nanotechnology that kills pathogens physically instead of chemically. So, we're used to using the Cloroxes and the well, I'll use the example of hand sanitizer. 99.9999999% of hand sanitizers are alcohol based.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's great. They're effective. The 99.8% or whatever effective for germ killing, as long as it's wet. As soon as that's dry, so about 20 to 30 seconds, your protection is completely gone. In fact, you're actually more exposed because now you have a little bit of a film on your hand that everything you touch, you're going to pick up and everything sticks to you. So the mom that goes to the grocery store and squirts each kid with the hand sanitizer, and they have this false sense of security because now they're touching and picking up every kind of pathogen that's out there. So this new nanotechnology is super cool. It's water-based. It uses carbon, and it uses it actually does a covalent bond to the skin, meaning that it lasts until you have your skin cells have to actually flake it off. So it lasts up to 4 hours or longer. You can wash your hands and it stays in place. It's like all these little microscopic, they're literally 30,000 times smaller than a human hair, but these little carbon shards. So it's like all these little spikes that when a pathogen, including viruses that cause coronavirus, come in contact with your hand, it pierces the cell of that virus or that pathogen. Not only does it pierce the cell, it hits it with a positively charged nitrogen atom that then incinerates the germ. So it has no way of mutating. It has no way of spreading. It just burns up. Cool technology.
That actually just sounds. I'll be honest with you. That just almost sounds fun. Sitting there going, I'm killing COVID. Yeah. So, your program is built to try to help keep people back at work, or get people back at work and keep people safe.
Yep.
It's available to all businesses, or
Yeah, any business. We are helping all sizes of businesses get reopened, and there's solutions that we direct people to, because we're not the solution ourselves. We have some testing capabilities and things that we provide, and that's even changing. So
Yeah.
the free testing and free uh, vaccinations, that may be going away. Individuals may become responsible for the cost of those now. We used to be able to go, get a PCR test and it be covered under the CARES Act or bill insurance for it. Well, now individuals are going to start to be responsible for the cost of some of those COVID tests. But that's one of the solutions we provide is rapid and PCR testing. And then we have a partnership with a number of great companies that have products just like this new nanotechnology I was telling you about.
This might be a little bit unfair to ask you, but I'm gonna go on ahead and ask it anyway. Somebody who doesn't have somebody who's not employed, say like my parents, they're both they both got health issues, and they're and I would like them to be able to get a hold of something that protects them a little bit safer. My mom and my dad are both very social people, and they've taken care of people with special needs for their entire adult lives, and so they're mixed in with people who may have been compromised. Is there any program that we can take and try to protect them with some of this technology?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the dollars and cents cost of it all is, but there's certainly solutions. Not only the protection like the hand sanitizer, um, but also air purification. There's what are you familiar with ionizers?
Yes.
So yeah, so portable ionizer that you can wear around that literally is sending out these little. It's like a little electrical storm that goes out and zaps every particle that's in impurity that's in the air around you, including pollen. So those with allergies, bad allergies in the springtime, man, you should have yourself a little portable ionizer. So
I'm gonna have to go find one of those right now. For the last month, my podcasts, I've been sounding like I've swallowed a frog
yeah.
because my allergies are just killing me. And
I can direct you right to where you can get one. So
yeah.
I took a few of them. We took the whole family, all 10 of us, out of the country at the height of the Omicron. And I placed them strategically on each row of the plane that we were flying on. And then I had a portable one that we put in the hotel rooms. We had 4 different hotel rooms. And I just shuffled it around from room to room. And we all tested negatively and we were able to come back, after our week stay. My one of my business partners didn't take the same precaution, and he got an extra week of vacation. Well, quarantine, an extra week of quarantine.
That's one heck of a way to look at it. Well, hey, I went on vacation, got sick, and I got an extra week.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of fun. So, what are the benefits for these companies other than the obvious? What are the benefits of these companies contacting you about your special programs for COVID?
Yeah, no, we just like to help small business.
Yep.
We really are all about helping the small business, the lifeblood of our economy, and would like to help get people back on their feet and get back to work. It's a little bit selfish, right? Because we process workers' comp claims. So if people aren't working, we have fewer claims to process.
Yeah. That's there's always downsides to doing good, right?
Yep.
So, hey, Breck, I greatly appreciate you coming in and joining us today. And we're going to be playing a recorded interview with one of my favorite people in the world, Bart Bartholomew of Veterans Honoring Veterans. How do people get a hold of you if they want to talk, if they want to learn more?
Yeah, it's really easy. I am the only Breck, a middle initial L, so BRECK Rice, RICE on LinkedIn. I am an avid LinkedIn user, so that's a great way to connect with me. My email is simply my first name, Breck, BRECK, at serv, SERV, RX.com.
All right. And then you guys have a phone number right there,
Yep.
888 907 9770. Once again, 888 907 9770. And you guys are in Arizona, right? But you guys work?
Yep, we're headquartered in Arizona, but we work in all 50 states.
Sounds great. I appreciate it again, my friend. This was a good time. Learned a lot. At least tried to look like I was learning a lot. But if once again, who are you asking to contact you?
Yeah, we love community pharmacies. If they're not signed up with us, they should be. We have started community pharmacy roundtables that we talk a lot more about how to bypass the PBMs and go direct and direct bill to help these pharmacies improve their profit margin again. And we have other great solutions that are, not our solutions, but we're bringing new revenue solutions to community pharmacies. So we're kind of becoming more of a consultant almost to that industry. So that's our number one focus are those good folks in community pharmacy. Secondly would be speaking with self-insured, self-administered businesses or municipalities to help them also save money and costs on drug spend.
All right. And one more time, your phone number so people can get a hold of you.
Yeah, 888-907-9770. I am at extension 910.
910. All right. Well, Mr. Rice, thank you so much for joining us. This was a great pleasure. I invite you to kick back in the green room if you'd like to watch this interview. This is one of the neatest guys I've ever met in my life, and I ended up meeting Bart when he came to do something very difficult. His wife passed away, and he came and donated her clothing to us. So somebody else can utilize them to try to find a job. So this is just a great individual, and I invite you to stick around, or even if you don't want to stick around in the green room, maybe you can take and jump back on the pACT channels and watch us. But thank you, and we look forward to working a long time with you to keep healthcare costs down for people who need it.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. I want to thank Breck Rice one more time for joining us today. It was a great time talking to him. He and I, this was like probably our most extensive conversation. And I'll be honest, I had a lot of fun, learned a lot of stuff. Healthcare, it's not easy for a lot of people. But if you can take and hook them up, maybe we can start saving some people who are struggling with health as I sit here and trying to cough out a lung. Maybe we can try to help some people. So, if you know a local pharmacist, maybe you can get a hold of Breck, have them get a hold of Breck, have them get a hold of us at 970-909-0751, and we can connect them with Breck. Let's try to help people help their health. So once again, we are a little short on guests tonight. So what I've decided to do is I want to play this interview with Bart. One of the reasons why we're doing this is the last couple of shows we've been have been pretty heavy. You guys who were with us last week, you know that we talked to a wonderful group of people, ladies who One of them was talking about the tragic losses of children. And we just wanted to make sure that we kind of lighten things up a little bit, and brought in something that's quite a bit more upbeat. I invite you to stick around and watch this great interview. This is my friend, one of my great friends, one of my mentors, Mr. Bart Bartholomew from Veterans Honoring Veterans. Please enjoy this. I'll be back after this, and we're going to be going to MKE now at the bottom of the hour. Hey, everybody. This is Zach Clayton with Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and pACT. Welcome to another pACT short. I'm with a great friend of mine, Bart Bartholomew, the president and founder of Veterans Honoring Veterans. And we'd always like to remind you, please wear your red, support our soldiers who are away from home right now. It stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. Okay. You don't have to like the wars. You don't have to support the wars, but you got to support the kids. The kids are out there taken away from their family time, taking away their lives, putting their lives on hold to protect people in other lands right now, promoting our way of life. So please make sure every Friday you wear red, and just remember to do that. Bart is with Veterans Honoring Veterans, which has such a wonderful, wonderful program. You hand out statuettes to our heroes. You've been looking for heroes. You're really trying to make sure that we get all the heroes from World War II and Korea right now. Is that correct?
That's pretty much, yeah. We're losing our senior veterans at a rate of, I don't know what it is, but they're going quickly, and we are here talking because they kept our freedom in the United States. So as much as we can say hi to them, shake their hands, thank them for their service, honor them any way we can while they're still here is very, very important.
Yep, that's right. And so if you know any World War II, surviving World War II or Korea vets in northern Colorado area, we're begging you to please get a hold of Bart, and you can do that by emailing him right here, Veterans Honoring Veterans 1 at gmail.com, Veterans Honoring Veterans 1 at gmail.com, or at their phone number, 970-481-9640. 970-481-9640. Bart's going to ask you for an email. He's going to send you a form that you can fill out that form, and let's get these veterans honored before and remembered, because remembering them is it's healthy for them, one, and it's just what we should do. So if you do know any World War II, World War or Korea vets, please get a hold of us. Of course, Bart, you don't just stop there. You're also honoring veterans of all conflicts. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, there's kind of go off on the honoring veterans. We're trying to focus on northern Colorado at this point, and I want all the listeners and viewers to understand what we have in our hometowns, our home counties and home states. In Larimer County, Colorado alone, there's 23,000 veterans living in Larimer County, and there's about 20,000 in Weld County. So you talk about 50,000+ veterans just in those two counties alone. And then you take your state and your town and your counties all over wherever this podcast is going. There's millions of us veterans out there. So what we're trying to do in northern Colorado, like I said, is to honor as many as we can, as long as we can. To date, since 2018, Veterans Honoring Veterans has presented over 440 statues to veterans in northern Colorado and then also we have done posthumously. They're a little bit more difficult. You can order one for your loved one wherever you are. We can get you an order. We can get you filled out. Get your address, and if we order one and it goes out of state or out of town or out of county, we do ask that you pick up the cost of of the statue and the mailing of the statue. Again, we are a nonprofit, so we don't have a bucket full of money that we can just throw around, but we try to do all kinds of donations and fundraisers to get our bank to where we can continue to give our veterans here in Northern Colorado a free statue. We don't want somebody to have to pay in our project right here in Northern Colorado for what we're doing. But if we have to mail it, then it's a little different because we have more cost and we don't get to present the person personally. And I hope you all understand that. But if you do want one, you can go on to our website. You can take a look at what we've done since 2018. We have just about every individual that we've honored picture by date, individuals by year. So you can go in there. I tell everybody at every breakfast we have, hey, go on there, find yours. You can print them up if you want to. So, but 430 plus is a pretty good start. And as long as I'm still around, I can do it. I'm going to do it as long as I can.
Well, that sounds great. And just to give you the number that it was reported in 2018, 7% of the adult population were veterans, roughly 18 million in 2018. So, just remember that. Remember those numbers. They're a little staggering that our veterans, the right around 7% of every of Americans who take and raise their right hand, they give that oath, they give up a part of their life to go and serve others. So
Zach, that brings up a point. And
yes,
when you said that, every veteran that raised their right hand, we have many organizations that try to help veterans all over the United States. The Veterans Administration, VFW, American Legion, DAV, and it goes on and on and on. Each one of those organizations has a requirement of qualification, whether you are able to get whatever they have to offer. We don't. Our veteran, no matter what that veteran done, whether that veteran stayed in the United States and typed orders, stayed in the United States and cleaned latrines, went to Germany, went to France, wherever we have bases. I mean, go on and on. We don't worry. We don't care about that. We say, if you go to boot camp, you have raised your right hand and you have said, I signed a blank check. I'll do whatever the American government military wants me to do. And when you go to boot camp, you don't know where you're going to go upon graduation. So be it conflict in Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam, Korea, World War II, both Pacific and Atlantic, there was drafts in all those except the current one. Afghanistan and Iraq did not have a draft. Our soldiers, men and women, still raised their right hand and kept our country full of veterans. So if you have a veteran, if you are a veteran and you're in Northern Colorado right now, come to the breakfast. You see it at the bottom of the screen scrolling down there. Come to breakfast any Saturday you want to at the Golden Corral in Loveland, and we have a breakfast there. We'll get your name on our list. Don't expect to get one the following Saturday because, like I said, of how many veterans, and I've got over 300 veterans waiting on my list right now. So I call if they answer. If I find them, they get put on the waiting list, and then if they don't, then I go to the next one. So, but the breakfast is pretty awesome itself. We've been doing this since 2008, and just last Saturday alone, at the Golden Corral. We had 115 participants. Some of those were family members, but 90% of them were veterans. So that's a pretty awesome amount of people to come to breakfast there.
Yeah, last weekend, I had a connection with people you were honoring. Bill Esch is a brother of mine in the VFW Warriors. So,
I didn't know that.
Yep. I've rode with Bill Esch quite a bit. So yeah, it was kind of neat to see him standing there with the statue. It was like, hey, that's great. So
that right there is a story in itself. That's good. Thanks, Zach.
Yeah. So, and we want to take a real quick second, and we want to show these beautiful statues to all you guys so you can see what we got going on. And you got statues pretty much for everybody.
I do. We have all branches: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard and the Navy are exactly the same statue, but at the base it will say U.S. Navy or U.S. Coast Guard. So we didn't do a separate one. But then we also have a female statue. I don't have a picture of it in here, but there is a opportunity for a female veteran to get not a combat looking statue, but a statue of a female in what we call fatigues or whatever their work clothes are now, saluting. And if you want one of them, or we have this eagle holding a United States flag in the talons that we've been given since 2018. The majority of the ladies have been getting this statue, but here again, we do have an opportunity. But kind of show you a little bit. That's a good display of them, but you can just see the detail in this statue. I'm not good with the camera, Zach. Hang on there. The detail of this statue, and it's great work. And to plug my statue maker is designed by Ricker here in Loveland. So it's he's a Vietnam veteran. So we have made in Colorado, made by a veteran, made in the USA, a win-win-win. And Gary does an awesome job of these statues for us. So, but if anybody wants one of those, please don't hesitate to contact us, and we can get you fixed up. And thanks, Zach, for putting my address up there. If anybody would like to make a donation to Veterans Honor Veterans, please mail it to Veterans Honor Veterans, 1907 South Custer Avenue, Loveland, Colorado, 80537. And if you want to call me and order one, that's also fine. I do have a form that I can email you that gives you all the details that I need for the nameplate. So we can pretty much put the name, the rank, the branch of service. We can put one or two medals that you was awarded or they was awarded. We can put bases where you were stationed, ships that you were assigned to. My engraver just does an awesome job. Dykeman Trophies up at Fort Collins. If he gets a link of whatever you want, patch, ship, base, he can burn it onto that nameplate, and something that you'll be very, very proud of, or your relative or friend that's a veteran would be very proud of. So.
Yeah, and I can attest to the quality of these. You were so generous in August of this last year, and you honored both. And my father was not a combat vet, as you mentioned. He was not a combat vet. My dad was in the service. He was in the Army, Vietnam era, but we were in Berlin at that time, and and it was towards the end. My uncle, you also honored him posthumously. And one of the things that you guys asked, which really meant a lot to my aunt, was you asked us, what was his favorite ship to serve on. And you guys put that right on there, that, you know, you put on all of his information, and it definitely a tearjerker when we started talking about it. So, and you know, we talked about this once before. I still remember that we honored a couple more veterans that day that were there. One more posthumously, that his nephew came to pick up a statue. He was the one that the VFW in Alt was named after. And he was there to pick up the statuette for his family. But there was one older gentleman who grabbed a hold of that thing, and we had to tell him that somebody screwed up and didn't get the information into him in time. And this guy made me feel so bad, because he held on to that thing like it was an Oscar. He loved that, you know, he just loved that statue. He loved it. He didn't want to give it back. And we had to tell him, sir, we're going to get one personalized just for you. And the work, the details on them are so good, and they're so nice. And the reason why we're doing this, folks, is we need you to support Bart in this. Okay. We need you to support Veterans Honoring Veterans so they can continue to do this. How much does each statue cost?
$60, and that's just for the statue and the nameplate. But a complete statue is $60. So it cost us about $18,000 a year to operate, and like I said, 99% of them are free. The ones that we do have to mail out, and there's not that many of them, we do ask for that $60 plus shipping. But I'm honored to say that we very seldom ever have to ask a veteran for money. But I will say our biggest donor are veterans.
Yeah.
What you said about a tearjerker, we're not intending to make anybody cry, but our veterans have not received enough thank yous when they come home. No one knows, unless you are a veteran, combat or non-combat, what it's like to be away from home at a very young age of 17, 18, 19, maybe for the first time ever, and meeting total strangers and living with total strangers for up to 2 to 4 years. So when these veterans come home, whether it's for a 2-day pass or a 30-day leave or whatever it is, even while they're in the service, thank them for what they're doing, because we are here. We're doing this because we are free. We walk around the streets without carrying credentials with us all the time because we are free. We have freedom of speech. So, and it's because our veterans have signed that blank check and have been able to go wherever they were needed and do whatever was asked of them to help us. And in Vietnam alone, there were 58,000 veterans killed in Vietnam, and the Vietnam veteran was, as well as the Korean War veteran, neither one of those two eras got very many thank yous when they came home. So just remember them when you see them. You know, if somebody's got a hat on, go up and or got a T-shirt on, or got a coat on, don't hesitate to go up and say thank you. You know, that'll mean a lot to them. I want to show this real quick, Zach. This is the card and the address. It's 1360 Sculptor Drive in Loveland for the Breakfast Club. And like I said, every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, we're kind of like the mail carriers. Rain, snow, sleet, doesn't make any difference. We're going to be there. So please join us. We have an awful lot of fun. Zach's been there for, I think, the last 3 or 4 weekends. And
actually, I missed. Had to get this. I missed a weekend that you guys were there, and my friend Janet from Healing Warriors was there. And she was there, and I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! The one weekend I didn't come, you come up." And yeah, we ended up talking about you the other day because she was a guest on our regular show. So you know, that we've got such a great community of veterans and veteran supporting organizations here in well, in America, we truly do. But here in Northern Colorado, it's something very special. I know that, us that are just non-veterans, but we're patriots. We just love to take part and stand beside you guys. And to all of you patriots who are out there, come on in. Yeah, you don't sit there and eat breakfast with them, but you can sit there and watch them be honored. And you want to see something that's spectacular, come and watch this. It is it really means a lot. Bart, one of the things that you guys do, and one of the things that I really give you guys credit for, is you're fighting that feeling of being forgotten. And so I think that you guys are doing, you guys are taking a step towards fighting the depression that leads to life-ending decisions. How does the typical vet thank you? I mean, is it emotional?
It is. Speaking of that, not only the forgotten veteran, but the veteran. We were talking the kind of the beginning that I'm not a combat veteran. I don't deserve something like this. We are trying to wipe that out too, because a veteran's a veteran. A veteran don't know where they're going to go when they go to basic training. So it's not fair to any veteran not to be recognized. And the veteran that you're talking about, we don't know that they're out there until we call them on the telephone, or if they come up and say, what do I have to do to get this statue? And that right there tells me that they like what they saw. And I want to throw in here, we're not presenting statues every Saturday. We're only presenting statues on the first and the third. So if you come on the second Saturday expecting to see a statue presentation, we won't be doing it. But come anyway, and then come the following Saturday, we'll have a statue presentation. And we do between 3 and 6 veterans every Saturday. We sometimes have breakdowns like everybody else does. Something came up and the veteran can't make it on that particular day, so we reschedule them. So we have 6 and only get 3. That's okay, Yep. If we only have 1, that's okay. But goodness, it just to tell you why I'm doing this is because I was at a ship's reunion. My ship was a aircraft carrier in Vietnam and also an aircraft carrier in World War II or Korea. But I was at a reunion, and one of the sailors got up at the banquet and honored another sailor with the statue. And I thought that was just pretty doggone cool. So after the banquet was over, I visited with the one that gave it away, asking him what that was. It was a franchise. He said, no. He said, I just thought it was a nice thing to do. So I said, gosh, I think it's a nice thing to do. So I came home to Colorado, found a handful of people like veterans and even non-veterans, and started doing it. And now we're a 501c3 and a nonprofit. We're having a ball.
Yep. So the Saturdays you guys are going to be there this coming up month in April are going to be the 2nd and the 16th.
Correct.
But once again, if you go there, if you consider yourself a patriot, you can wear out your hand by handshakes, because there are so many vets there, and they're all there for the fellowship, for the brothership, and just because they're there together. And
we have 4 World War II veterans that come just about every Saturday. One of them is 99. One of them is going to be 97. 2 of them are already 97. So just think of that at the age. They don't get around very well. They're having caretakers come with them, and they're in walkers. There's one lady. She's 97. She is resilient. She doesn't need any help. She drives her own car there every time. And the other veteran is going to be 97. He is in 3 wars: World War II, Korea, and Vietnam.
He
30
is
years
a character. He is such a good guy.
Purple Heart, quite a character. He takes care of his younger wife of 83. She needs care, and he's her caregiver. So veterans are resilient,
Yep.
Proud to know a lot of them.
Yeah, and when you introduced us to that to the guy who fought in the 3 wars, he was just, boy, he was peppy. He was just peppy. I was like, wow, that's great. I mean, I almost felt embarrassed. I was like going, geez, I'm tired, and look at this guy go.
He put some of us to shame, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, and just being able to get in there and talk to him, I'm so honored that you guys support what we do, and we are just thrilled to be a small part of what you guys do. You guys are part of the Community Pay It Forward fundraising program, and you have been since you and I met. And there's a very simple way, folks, that you guys can help. Okay, here's you can download the app right here. Download the app, the Jot form. I'll put it all over Facebook. I'll put it on wherever I need to put it. But make sure that you guys go to this app, okay? When you go to this app, let me share my screen here. The app looks like this. It's just a job form. What you do is you visit one of our partners at www.communitypayitforward.com. That's www.communitypayitforward.com. You get a receipt. Take a picture of your receipt and click this right here. Okay, then you can upload your receipt right there. Then you can go on down here and you can pick any of these great organizations. But I'd really like, for today's purposes, for you to click on 501c3 and right there, Veterans Honoring Veterans. You can also come down here to supporting our heroes, both country and community. Looky there, Veterans Honoring Veterans. Make sure that you guys get this app, get it done. I am going to put it in the comments right now so it'll show up for you. But all you have to do is take and download that app, add it to your home screen. It tells you how to do it. You just click the 3 little buttons that are up there, and it says add to my home screen. Then you can always have all these causes that get updated every day. We're getting people who are being added every day now. We're starting to really grow, and we want to make sure that everything is we're supporting these great organizations like this. Bart, you and I, we clicked when we first met, and I thank Sandy from Colorado Promotional Supply for introducing us. And I just want to tell you, you are a dear friend of mine. You're, I couldn't imagine being without you right now, because
goes both ways. Thank you very much, Zach. But
yeah, so you better keep July 30th open. You might have to go to the mountains, but July 30th is when I'm getting married, and you know that you got to be there for the wife. So
well, hey, I'll be there for both of you, brother.
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, hey, Bart, why don't we go through this one more time before we let everybody go? Please make sure that you go to the website, veteranshonoringveterans.org. That's veteranshonoringveterans.org. You can also email Bart at veteranshonoringveterans1@gmail.com.
I'm gonna throw. We're on Facebook also. I forgot to give you that.
Yes.
NOCO Veterans Honoring Veterans is where you can find us on Facebook. So
very good.
Continue on.
Good. So, but Veterans Honoring Veterans1@gmail.com, or call him at 970-481-9640. 970-481-9640. Help Bart. Help Veterans Honoring Veterans. Oops, wrong one. And make sure that you can mail any donations to Bart's home, 1907 South Custer Avenue in Loveland, Colorado, 80537. 1907 South Custer Avenue, Loveland, Colorado, 80537.
100% of the donations go to statues.
100%.
so that's what I want to make sure of. We don't have any paid employees, and so everything we get goes into the statues and presented them. So,
And remember, simply by shopping, we're not asking you to upload, or we're not asking you to round up to the nearest dollar. We're not asking you to add a dollar. We're not asking you to do any of that. Shop with any of our partners for your business, for your home, for your kids, whatever. Shop with any of our partners at www.communitypayitforward.us, www.communitypayitforward.us, and take a picture of your receipt. Upload that picture to this jot form right here. When you do that, click on I want to, just let us know. I want to support veterans, honoring veterans. And 80% of what that company gives us goes to Bart. So make sure that you do that. Bart, my friend, my brother, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for joining me today on this PACT Short. And please keep up the great work.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me, and we're proud to be a partner with you, and proud of everything that you do for the community and pay it forward. So that's how we met, like you said, and you got an awesome program, and we'll continue to work together.
Okay, everybody. Well, like I said, my name is Zach Clayton. I've been sitting here with Bart Bartholomew. We are part of the Community Pay It Forward fundraising family. We invite you to come together and make sure that nobody has to go it alone. Please remember to love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. My name is Zach, and I'll see you again on Monday. Yes, we've got a new show starting on Monday, so I will see you on Monday. But I hope you and your family have a great weekend. Please be safe, be smart, and care about somebody else. Thank you. Yeah, everybody, that was once again, I just want to thank Bart. That was such a look. I make no bones about it. I love that guy. I really do. He's a great friend, great mentor, just a really great individual. So I thank Bart so very much for being there and supporting us, and we're glad to support him. We have got real quick, and we're going to be going over to MKE now. Please remember that right here. Let me make this. It's not working for me. Go figure. There we go. Let's make this bigger. Okay, the top QR code is for our virtual event page on Facebook. This one here is so any wine that you buy is for Project Die Hard. Here is for the Avery Foundation. Please make sure you buy some wine for yourself, buy some wine for your Easter, buy some wine for a family get together, buy a wine for a friend get together, and make a difference by supporting some of these great causes. So all of these wines are provided by Hope. It's being sponsored by Hope Wines, and we're doing a great job trying to help as many people as we can. I ran across a really great quote tonight, and this one means a lot to me, and so I want to bring this up. This is: be thankful for the nights that turn into mornings, friends that turn into family, and dreams that turn into reality. I love that quote. Just found it today. Really, really means a lot to me. I want to thank Teresa Tong for helping me through a difficult time today. Your friendship means more than you'll ever know. We want to welcome Carla Italiano of Isogenics, one of our newest family fundraising partners. And we want to welcome Jenna Flynn of Connell's Hugs from Heaven, a great new mission partner who has joined us and is doing a lot of stuff to help out families after the unfortunate loss of a child, helping out big brother and sister as they work towards remembering and supporting each other. So We want to
everything has to be
we
verbalized.
we want to make sure that we're taking care of them, and as we take care of each other. So thank you for the whacked segment. We've got Hope Stock, July 29th through 31st. That's Hope July. That's Hope Stock, July 29th through 31st. Once again, unfortunately, I will not be there, but fortunately, it's because I will be getting married. So that's kind of the way it goes for me. We've got a statue presentation with veterans honoring veterans on April 16th at the Golden Corral in Loveland. Community yard event we're going to be having on the 24th at 2040 4th Avenue, number 12. And remember our wine event all throughout April. We are going to be sharing now our great friends at MKE Now in Wisconsin. So please make sure that you stick around for this. It's a 30-minute show, a lot of fun, a lot of great information. And I bring you Sue from MKE Now.
Having Emily here as well. Emily Bulmer's here, along with Zach Clayton, and a couple new names this evening that I am super excited to introduce you to. So we are going to start actually with a gentleman that was just introduced to us, I believe, in the last week or so here. Aaron Lung is in actually he's in another country. He's coming in we're zooming him in from a long ways off, and are super excited to bring him in. And I wonder if you could give us a little bit of an introduction, who you are, what you're all about, what do you do, and welcome to the show, Aaron.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Aaron. I'm really honored to be here on the radio show. So a bit of background about myself. I'm a TEDx coach, a senior corporate trainer, and also a public speaker myself for the past 15 years. I delegate myself to really help everyone to improve their public speaking skills with a vision to create universities, public speaking universities around the world for anyone to study in, and also get accredited into different companies. My job is to revolutionize the art of public speaking so that you can change the world, impact the world, or maybe spread your message across. As long as you have any problems or any obstacles that you face throughout the public speaking career, or maybe you meet with communications with your superiors, I'm also the person that you may want to approach to. And I'm dedicated to help you customize your own speaking style. I also dedicate to help a lot of different underprivileged individuals in Africa and also in other parts of the world, schools with people with special needs and special abilities. They may have stuttering issues, and I also do help them to refine their public speaking skills voluntary basis around the world. Before the pandemic, I do travel. Nowadays, I do a lot of different global trainings around, and hopefully I can reach my target of helping 50,000 people this year. I reached my 40,000 people this year. I'm still 10,000 away from it. Thank you for yeah.
It is super amazing. I love hearing big goals like this, and that you're so far along already with what you're doing to accomplish that. That's amazing, and love having you on here, and looking forward to continuing our conversation. I am going to go ahead and bring in Matt Roseman. Looking at your name, and I'm saying it backwards here. Matt, we are familiar with you. We have been for a little while here. Actually, both of you are folks that we have gotten the pleasure of meeting through the Happy Neighborhood Project. Matt, why don't you come on in and share a little bit more about who you are and what you're all about. We're looking forward to hearing more.
Thanks, Sue. I appreciate it. In terms of who I am, what I do is I'm a personal support specialist when it comes to technology. So we all use technology, and sometimes it doesn't always play nice. So I make sure that your technology works with you and for you, not against you. So what I do is I reduce your stress and put your mind at ease when it comes to your different technological needs. And I believe engaging in the hardware hand-holding in the Blowfish process, where I play technology Sherlock and gadget guru, and I specialize in repair, setup, and training. So when it comes to people with special needs or the accessibility, there are multiple devices that do that. And that's what helps this community to communicate with the outside world's technology, especially when they can't or are unable to sit there and do so. And depending on what you actually use, that platform will vary. So, for example, most people will have a desktop or they'll have a laptop or they'll use your phone or your tablet. And depending on what you have and what you use, every capability will be different depending on who they are and what their needs and challenges are. So, for example, with Windows, there's ease of access. You can change the size of text, the mouse, different color filters, and high contrast. I have a customer who has difficulty seeing, certain type of colors, and by using a high contrast, it helps him to see the screen and the words easier. You also have, narration. As long as you can handle Stephen Hawking, you can have the computer talk to you all day long. So if things, get louder, closed captioning, Zoom and and YouTube have this. So these are all ways to help people that have these challenges. Sticky keys. How many times have you pressed a key too long and it makes a noise at you? That's a sticky key. You even have webcam control. Windows Hello is when it uses your webcam to sign in. We can also use it to move the mouse around or use a virtual keyboard or even sit there and have apps open and control the computer, which is great. You also have text to speech where you type something in and then it talks to you. So that's the Windows side. With the Mac side, you have also voiceover. You have spoken in Braille. You have a magnifier. You have high contrast and invert colors. You check the mouse, apply color filters, spoken content, real-time text again, captions, subtitles, voice controls and commands, keyboard access, sticky keys again, even virtual keyboard. And guess what? You have Siri. So you have support there. With the iPhone, it's the same thing there. Accessibility with display and text size, Zoom and voiceover, motion, spoken content, audio descriptions. You can adjust with touch. You can also sit there and have Bluetooth hearing aids. So that allows you to be able to hear better, or even keyboards and closed captioning in Siri. Unfortunately, Apple is definitely the best platform. Microsoft and Windows was second place, and unfortunately in third place is Google and Android. They need to get their act together. So they can have apps that talk back at you, text and display. You can select an app to speak to you if you want to, accessibilities, large icons and text, timing controls, vibrations and haptics, depending on your ability to feel, live captions and transcribing, sound amplification and hearing aid support. So there is no one perfect solution out there, but because Apple's been doing it so long, especially with the education aspect, even since I was a kid back in the 80s, they are definitely the leaders in that aspect. So for anybody who's looking for a device that'll help people that have certain handicaps or challenges, Apple's definitely going to be the way to go out of the three major platforms.
Excellent. That's good information. My goodness. I'm glad we'll be able to come back and replay this so people can get all of those details. I'll be listening back to this again. I know on riverwestradio.com, our show is located on there under the shows tab, and we'll be able to reference people back to that page where our show being Ability MK Now, we're the first one listed in the list, and there will be playback available so people can get all these details and be able to get the resources they need, because that's amazing. I'm actually lucky that I have an Apple phone. I do a little bit of Apple, and it's good to know that that's such a good a good place to be for all the needs. So, and Aaron, let me bring you back into the conversation here too. So now I should ask, have you two ever met before? Aaron and Matt, are you guys just introducing yourselves here tonight?
Yeah, this is the first time I met Aaron today, I think, in another HMP as well. So.
Oh, nice. Well, and let me throw this back here with Zach Clayton is also joining us this evening. So Zach and Diva, I know with you guys being on board here as well, just wanted to check and see if you guys had any thoughts or questions that you had based on what you just have heard. Well, you're in the right business here with being on radio and in podcasting, and you're good with your words. So there's definite advantage there. We're always glad to have you here with us. And Denise, want to bring you in too, hon. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing fabulous. I hope everyone is doing just as fabulous. And wow, you know what? I just want to say thank you to the guests, because as a person with a disability, it's so great to hear others that maybe do or do not have an invisible disability, because who knows, right? But I have a physical disability. I'm a wheelchair user, and knowing that there are people out there who are really trying to help the disability community enhance their productivity in life, right? Like really just be part of the community. So I really want to say thank you, because the information that I heard from both of you, Aaron and Matt, is just really phenomenal. And I can't wait to get to know each of you better.
Excellent. Thanks, Denise. And we've gotten this far in the show and actually not gotten to say hello to Kurt yet. I think I got to bring Kurt in here to say a quick hi and share where you're at this point too. Kurt, are you out there?
Yeah, I just want to kind of speak into this and hail down Emily a little bit. If Emily, if you can unmute your microphone, we got a feature Emily this week. This is birthday week for Emily Gallmer, and so happy belated birthday, Emily. And so we want to hear from the birthday girl when she's available, but we got some minutes for her to unmute and come in and address her fans and go from there. So I guess other than that, I want to switch back to you, Aaron. Last Friday, I saw you come into the worldwide Zoom meeting with the Happy Neighborhood Project, and you did a marathon today. And in you and I having a chance with several breakout rooms, you speak to that you have a passion. This is Disability Advocacy Radio right here in Milwaukee, and we're bringing you in from China, and you have an energy that sprawls across the oceans and reaches us here. So can you speak to that a little bit, Aaron, about your passion to make your work product work for people around the world that are people with disabilities?
Thank you very much for the opportunities. I was actually planning to add on to Matt's supportive evidence, because been doing research similar to Matt, helping people with disabilities, and not really employed by Apple, but I really do a lot of different research, and Apple is one of the best products there that really cares about people with special abilities there. But it brings back to my own story, whereby in the past, I was once an introvert. You may not believe me, but during that time, I rarely trust anyone. Maybe consider into a moment whereby I was nearly depressed, in a depressed state. I don't dare to trust anyone. I don't dare to communicate with anyone. And I was just like, people thought that I was ill in some way. It's because during the school days, I was being bullied. And that time, after being bullied, I couldn't voice out any concerns. And I understand the whole process, because there are many people victimized by the entire situation. So from that on, I spent 2 to 3 years really dedicating to really speak out and start to realize the power of public speaking. From the age of 18, I started to do a lot of different talks, workshops around the world. I start to realize the power of public speaking is not just to spread message, but also to recuperate and also spread the passion around, because it will impact lives. I also start to find what can we do with the power of public speaking. And I start to discover many, many uses, such as really helping people with stuttering issues. There are people with speaking disabilities when they actually stutter. And my job is to really help to elevate that situation and help them to refine it so that it will. And I have a lot of successful cases that stutterers no longer stutter after like 6 months or 7 months training related to public speaking. And that was a very great site for that. I also met with people with attention spans issues and stuff. And I wouldn't say that's an issue. It's more like an opportunity whereby I start to discover that there are many ways, countless ways that you can do power public speaking that really taps into helping others. I even been through a situation for hospital patients whereby through the power of stories, they are being very hopeful. Although there are some people who are diagnosed with stage 3 terminal diseases, like it's going to be fatal, but with the power of stories, they start to be hopeful and recover. It was a miracle in some way that I never know that words can make that much difference. So it drives me on to help people around the world paying it forward, just like we have Zach here, very, very great logo there, paying it forward is also my philosophy there. Really thank you for also sharing that. I think that actually drives my passion to this very day that I help to dedicate on TAT as well, to help people who are speakers to spread the message across so that everyone can benefit. No matter where you are, what sort of special abilities you have, those are things that we can refine it into opportunities.
Excellent. Yeah, I can relate to the whole introvert side of things too. In some ways I have a hard time believing I'm actually speaking on the radio right now because it would only have been a handful of years ago that I would have never dreamed of being in a role like this, and this has been such a good experience and a lot of fun, and I've met so many amazing people along the way with what we've been doing. It's pretty awesome. And Denise, I know she had a comment that she wanted to join in here again. Denise?
Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you for really being an ally to people with disabilities. And one thing that I would suggest is if ever you are not sure of either terminology or disability etiquette or anything like that, I encourage you to reach out to a person with a disability to just really get the in, if you will.
I know I've heard Kurt mention, I've heard the phrase so many times, being the master of ability, those that have whatever challenge they may have, becoming the masters that I don't even think about. It's like, I don't use a wheelchair, so it doesn't even cross my mind necessarily all the extra obstacles and pieces that go with that. Just if you're going to go to the store, even all the things that make a difference. And yeah, I appreciate those words, Denise. That definitely rings true in the things I've come across. And Emily, let's bring you on in here too. How are you doing tonight, Emily?
I am good.
Excellent. And what thoughts do you have for us this evening? Things that you've heard with the crew tonight so far?
Zach had a great show right before this.
Awesome. As we know, he always does. He's amazing, and glad that you're on there then. Very good.
Kurt, didn't you say something about my birthday?
That's right. This is a very special week we've got going on here. One of our very own had a birthday just a few days ago. So this is our chance to say it now. Happy birthday, Emily.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I'll send cake to everybody.
We're drooling now. So thank you for that. So I just want to throw it out there and see where everybody's at. Does anybody have any questions for each other in the group here? I want to make sure I'm catching everybody. Wise words. I know even something as, I was going to say simple. Simple's not the right word, but when there's aggressive drivers nearby, I used to get really bothered by that kind of thing. Same kind of concept. Nowadays, I'm looking at it like, oh my gosh, if I was your outlet, as long as we're all safe, I'm your outlet right now. It's fine. We can move on. You can have a better day now. So it's a hard one for people to not react. And yeah, the more we can be there and be a support and just keep your eyes open. You never know what's going on with the person next to you, and to be able to just try to take that step back for a moment and realize, yeah, if somebody is having a bad day, they're not trying to have a bad day and make your day worse. They're struggling on their own. Maybe you can make it better.
Yeah, I also want to throw out the Dr. Phil aspect of all this, and I just want to say, Zach, it was awesome and very selfless of you to sit there and do that, 22-hour marathon for the veterans. And I truly appreciate what you do for the people in this country that have served this country. So thank you for being you, and thank you for having me on your podcast. The one thing that is the elephant in the room here is that, Zach was mentioning about people having the attention span of a 2-year-old. The problem is this, is that humans, because of technology and because of social media, now have an attention span less than a goldfish. So we have officially floundered when it comes to this species, where we are now worse than a goldfish. So take that for what it's worth. Well, no, actually, I'm not. Jason Mraz is the king of wordplay.
And when you talk about fish like that, another piece with that though, fish are trainable. They're smarter than we think, because I know in one of the classes by where I work, we actually have trained the little beta fish, the beautiful betas. You can train them to swim through a hoop, just like you can train a dog to sit. You can train a fish to swim through a hoop.
Well, you can train people too. That's it. And it depending on what treat you give them. So. But, the idea is that you have to put yourself into somebody else's shoes. Even though I wear a size 12 men's, and I may not fit into your shoe because you're a woman, you still have to realize that it's not all about you. And if you see somebody struggling, don't take it personally. Think of them on their worst day, that you may never experience that. And you have the ability to walk or see or hear. And we take our senses for granted until we don't have them anymore.
Sometimes it's a bit sad when I hear about fishes, and then it just reminds me of saying in China, saying that if you have a goldfish, it means that you have memory loss. They don't mean anything wrong, but they just forget what they have done. That does happen in some way, but we have to be avoiding some sort of presumed assumption about what they're doing. It's just like about empathy and understanding. But it's kind of hard in some way for people who are specially abled, because some of them may have attention span limited, and we have to do care in their circumstances too. Yeah.
And Kurt, let's bring you back in here too. What other thoughts are on your mind this evening as we're getting near the end of our night together here? What other thoughts did you want to make sure we're tapping into here? Because I know you happen to know the guys a little better than I do, so I want to bring you back.
All right, thank you very much. I just hope everybody here, as part of our panel and our audience out there, I hope everybody can, I know we're celebrating Emily's birthday, but I also celebrate River West Radio here, because let's just absorb the reality with radio, the radio industry. How many radio stations on planet Earth are doing what we're doing right here? Opening up the airways for the conversation that helps us all understand better 25% of the population. So this is Ability MKE now. And so now we have the ability to understand Milwaukee better now. And this has been my vision since we started 5.5 years ago. So I really thank everybody here for helping us shape this episode. We have a friend that reminds us the future is now. So with Ability MK Now, we have a future of inclusion, accessibility, and accommodation for sure in Milwaukee, and participating in the global marketplace, that this does matter. This gets to ethics. Let's help everybody be more ethical and to share what we shared tonight. Back to you, Sue.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally concur. I agree with you. We are so grateful for Martin and River West Radio. So a big thanks out to them if Martin can hear us.
And I want to give it a chance to do just like a 20 to 30 second take home message that you guys may have. If, with Matt and Aaron, if you each maybe can just share a final thought with us, a final piece that you can let us take home for the night. Matt, would you like to go first?
Sure. You know, like Aaron, I am and also used to, I'm an introvert that has extrovert skills. Also, I had a speech impediment. I stuttered because I couldn't hear for the first couple of years of my life. I had ear tubes. So you never know what somebody's going through. And sometimes you have to think of somebody else besides yourself. And if humans could do that, the world would be a much better and happier place.
Awesome. Thank you. And Aaron, a final thought from you.
I think we can hold up like 3 little rules or saying tips that will help you enjoy your day. Number 1, we are in a world whereby we are mixed with different individuals with special talents. We have to avoid to assume what they are being through is very happy or sad or something. We have to avoid making assumptions because they're also making assumptions when we start assuming. That's tip number 1, because we start worrying if we make a lot of assumptions. Number 2, always have the power of empathy. Understanding and communicating actually matters to everyone around. And if you have the empathy, you start to build that genuine connections to care about others. And number 3, really don't let anyone to affect your day. I mean, everyone is so special here.
Excellent.
You are making a very big difference there. And if your special is affected by others, then
thank you very much.
That's about that.
Awesome. Yeah, the show just it ended 11 seconds ago. So you got your final thought. That was perfect. Thank you. Excellent. You guys are amazing.
He's located. Was just tracking him.
Thanks,
All right,
Zach.
sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Zach.
And Zach.
And
On here, you're right.
Okay, everybody, that was MKE Now in Wisconsin. MKE Now radio. As you heard, it's a great radio station just because it's a chance for us to take and really talk about people with that are differently abled. So make sure that you always follow pACT, the podcast with watching us on MKE Now. I want to thank Denise Vargas for joining us on MKE Now. Sue Roscoff for always having us, always being so gracious with us on the radio show. We want to thank Matt Roseman, Aaron Luang, Kurt Roscoff, and my guest tonight, Breck Rice. Thank you so much for everything that you educated us about and brought forth. Please make sure that you guys watch and share our episodes. Just remember that, there might be one thing that Breck said or somebody else said on the MKE Now show. That one thing could change a life. So please make sure that you share it, because that just the smallest thing could be something that somebody was looking for. I also want want to thank Bart for joining us. Bart, once again, you're a great friend, you're a great mentor, and I appreciate every chance that we get to talk to you. I'm going to take a really quick second, and I want to say happy birthday, Emily. You are a dear, dear friend. Love you very much, and I'm always so honored that you take up your own time to come and volunteer and help us out. So I thank you very, very much for everything that you do. Once again, I also want to give a shout out to Teresa Tong for really supporting Mr. Z, for really supporting me today. Emily, thank you for supporting me today. It was a difficult day, but you guys helped me make through it. Please remember, my name is Zach Clayton. You don't have to remember that. That's not important. My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. Please remember to love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. Hey, everybody, please remember, nobody has to go alone. If we all come together, if you're cold, if you have some clothing that does not fit, make sure that you keep something in your car. You can always put it on somebody who's battling the cold. Please make sure that if you made more food than you can eat, heat it up. Stick it in an old butter bowl, old whipped cream bowl. Yeah, whipped cream bowls. An old whipped cream bowl, heat it up, take it out to somebody who's battling hunger. It's a simple process, and we can all change the world if we do it, if we just come together. I thank you so very much, and please join us again next week when we're going to have another full show. We'll keep you updated throughout the week right on the pACT channel Facebook. You can also join us at www.communitypayitforward.us. communitypayitforward.us. Get a hold of us by networking at communitypayitforward.us, 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. If you have any questions, hey folks, please remember, we're asking you to alter your shopping habits, not spend more money, but let's make sure that we turn your purchases into a lifeline for someone in need.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.